As we are into a champ select for the first game between Sam Houston State University White and ROWVA Esports. So a lot to see on this one. So I'm interested to see what's going to be taken away first and foremost as Ari hitting the ban board.
Yeah, that is a Puppycat signature pick. We have seen some dominant performances out of her on that champion. That makes sense. Trundle being banned away as a solid blind pick jungler also makes sense here.
Alrighty, and I do like stealing away, I think, in terms of draft safety, some of the reliability that Trundle has. Obviously, he's a great answer to some picks like the Volley Bear, like Rammus, like his Zinhouse. So interested to see what Sam Houston prioritizes in that jungle.
Yeah, good to see the Xin Zhao ban come through immediately after the Trundle ban, because Trundle is probably the best counter to that champion.
Yes.
And I'm interested to see if the focus here is still just going to be hitting power picks, or if we're going to start to see some things that would seem unusual. No, we're still just sticking with power picks. The Jinx banned away here. I actually do like that in the hands of Zodiac, so it's interesting to see them ban that.
I think even more interesting too is the fact that Jinx still drawing that ban priority, even given the fact that she's been nerfed a little bit on the last patch. So obviously they've nerfed some of her aggression. Interested to see what they are going to prioritize for ADC as well. There are a number of options I think that are still viable. You can obviously look to play the Caitlyn. You have Aphelios available. Jhin obviously taken off the board, so that's going to be a denial from Zodiac. I mean, you even have the Ezreal, which we're starting to see quite a bit now. That some of the more crit heavy ADCs have kind of hit the nerf board.
Yeah, Jinx is another champion where I think too, we talked about this on our Saturday broadcast, some of the nerfs that came through, as we do see Set locked in here as the first pick, kind of got overreacted to. I think she still holds most of her power. So I am enjoying seeing them continue to put priority on that, as they're going to take the Aphelios and give themselves that ADC priority.
Pretty interested to see what else Sam Houston wants to draft. Traditionally, you do draft your support here with your ADC. Obviously, the Aphelios is going to need some protection. Not necessarily the most mobile of supports, or sorry, of ADCs, but I think still a capability to play around this. They are going to draft the Volley Bear there, so I do like that ban away now with the Trundle, as it is a common answer to the Volley Bear.
Yeah, absolutely. I think too that just with these first two picks, SHSU set themselves up with very, very powerful team fight presence, whereas ROWVA here seems to be more of a skirmishy comp already. Set obviously a great team fighter, but I think ideally right now in the meta he's also looking to skirmish. Vi definitely though. This is, oh wow, a Zed lock. Okay, blind Zed is a bold pick.
Let's see if it pays off, because that Zed pick's got a number of counters. It is going to be the Renata lock in there to complement that Aphelios. So look to see these guys start targeting that bot lane, as they do have top lane locked in there for ROWVA. So okay, I like this combo in the top lane with the Set and the Vi. I'm going to tell you why. Their two ults complement each other so well in terms of grabbing a specific target and then throwing them down on the other team, right? So whoever Set grabs and dunks down to the enemy team, the Vi is going to be able to follow up on top of carry. So I like that synergy. And then potentially Zed follow up, as long as he doesn't get shut down too hard in that mid lane phase. I do actually like the potential to pick off like the Aphelios, because you are looking at Sam Houston trying to protect him. So interested to see how well ROWVA will actually manage to make that combination work.
Yeah, I also think too that that's a weird Tahm Kench ban. I think he's a great answer to champions like Vi, Set, and Zed, because all of their ults are very telegraphed, and Tahm Kench can devour you out of those. I also think picking the Renata Glass here when you see the Zed locked in just gives ROWVA the opportunity to ban away two mid lane Zed counter picks immediately, which we're already seeing with Syndra hit. Syndra not particularly great into Zed, but that's still just a very safe mage that you can usually play into him fine. The Ashe ban makes sense. ROWVA's already got together a very good pick comp here, so you take away a priority champion that can, just press that R and have a go button. But that Tahm Kench ban really stands out to me as a peculiar one, because I would have thought, especially with SHSU's priority on the champion, they would have loved that pick, considering that you can just devour people out of 3 of the ultimates of ROWVA.
Absolutely. They could have
Shen's a good pick.
I think they could have looked to place that top lane, but obviously I think them believing that they're going to get more usage out of the Shen, so interested to see them piloting that one. Tristana Swain. Okay, this is a combination that we haven't seen in a while. They are indeed out for blood. I mean, that's a very aggressive combo. You're looking at Swain grab into Tristana rocket jump.
Oh, we got a Kassadin hover. I think Kassadin would be an interesting pairing. I don't see Puppycat picking that up though. Veigar makes some sense.
I like this
great matchup into this Zed.
Not into the lane matchup, but I like... Okay, yes, that's going to be the Lux coming up. So yeah, the fairly standard assassin, get off me, answer, and the Lux. Okay, so some interesting draft decisions here. So, Kramer, go ahead and break it down. What is it we should be expecting for both these comps?
Okay, so if you are SHSU, your whole goal is just to make sure that you do not die to ROWVA's comp early. ROWVA has put together not just kill lanes, it's a kill comp. The entire idea here is just to snowball this game out of control. They are stocked and fully locked and loaded with champions that just want to fight you early. They don't necessarily have to wait for breakpoints other than those ultimates coming through, especially in the bottom lane with Swain Tristana. That's a bloodbath bot lane. If you play wrong into that, they will kill you over and over, and this game will become impossible for SHSU. Now, on the side of SHSU, you do have a lot of stability. You do have a lot of survival tools. You've got the Renata and the Shen to answer things like the Vi set and Zed, very telegraphed ultimates going in. So it's going to be interesting to see if they manage to use those tools correctly and also just manage to put themselves in positions where they are not frequently having to take fights with this early game comp for ROWVA.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the Rift for Game 1 between Sam Houston State University and ROWVA Esports Gold. As these teams running out onto the map. Adjust the sound for you guys a little bit here, as it is a little bit quiet. As we are just seeing these teams post up.
Yeah, it looks like a fairly standard 5-point start for SHSU. We do see Brodini creeping forward on the Zed here, trying to maybe get some information. A little cheeky poke, I'm not sure exactly. But it doesn't look like he's going to be spotted out regardless. Curious to see how long Draganx is going to hold on this top side, if he intends to start on that red buff. We got the dance coming out from him.
Am I crazy, or did they take objective timers away?
They have not been working correctly for me. Let me make sure.
Interesting, because I cannot see them anymore. That's going to be kind of annoying to try and track.
Oh, they're not even listed anymore.
Yeah, they're not even listed anymore. Interesting. Okay, so we will not have the objectives timers, obviously, for you very, very easily, so we will have to find a way to work around that. That's going to be fun. Not sure why they took the objective timers away, but I guess we'll have to work around that. But I think it'll be a fairly standard start here for both of these junglers. Draganx starting on that top side. It's going to be just a red trade, so both will make their way towards the blue buff secondary. And I think, really for me, Kramer, the most important thing to watch is going to be these early laning phases for Sam Houston. Can they navigate some of these tougher matchups in the top and in the mid lane and just kind of deny what this ROWVA team wants to get done in terms of trying to build an early lead?
Yeah, just in the top lane, I think I favored Texe on the Shen in this matchup. I think especially if he can get those pass-throughs with his Twilight Assault, you know, dragging the scalpel there through Gerard, he should be able to find consistent favorable trades. The big one that I want to watch is what happens when these level 3s come in bot lane. As we see a level 2 fight.
And starting to see that go down. We're trying to fix the timer, so we'll get that G in just a minute as we're experiencing some technical difficulties, but health bar's going low. Lyra's going to get rooted up and ignited. Vision of Empire is going to come down. Going to miss ultimately on that one, though, but we will, I think, exit out of this one and come right back in, ladies and gentlemen, so be patient with us. We're going to try and fix this, so I'm going to leave out of this very, very quickly. I'm going to apologize for the technical difficulties. We never get it clean, Kramer. We never find a way to... I think, honestly, it's the new patch that's kind of really messing everything up. If I had to...
we blame Riot and their client, but I'm going to talk us through this as Draganx is setting up around this bot lane. Doesn't look like he's... Oh, he is. We're moving in. Is he going to throw down... Okay, we've got the Thundering Smash, but it looks like he's going to be chased off under the turret. They do not want to dive this in the 3v2 at level 2. So nothing going there as we look back top lane. Gerard's got a nice big wave stacked up, pushing into Texas AI. He just decided to cast his Facebreaker on the ground, or Haymaker rather, my bad.
Alrighty, so minion timers are working. That's good. Unfortunately, we do not have objective timers working, so we will have to work around that. Ladies and gentlemen, apologies for technical difficulties, but hey, at least we got CS counters, I think. Yes, we do, is seeing some tick over there. Alrighty. So, nobody dying in this early game just yet. I think pretty good for Sam Houston, all things considered. I think they'll be happy to just walk away, I think, through this early game without relatively losing too much. Something I do want to highlight, and we see this fairly often through every game, is the top lane push. So Texas A constantly being pushed in that top lane. It always feels like he is playing that weak side matchup. So interested, you know, your thoughts on how, you know, he's going to need to navigate this, especially given the way that the set is going to want to bully this Shin in the early game.
Right now, specifically looking at that top lane wave state, Texas A has 2 waves worth of casters stacked up. He has control over this lane as we see Draganks chase off Gerard and nullify my point. But I just want to see Texas A start to recognize when it's his wave to push. You know what I mean? He's always backing off. He's always letting people trade into him in his minion wave. And he simply shouldn't be doing that. If you've got control of the wave, like right now, he's got 3 waves worth of casters minions stacked up. He should not be letting Gerard walk up to this wave. And he's not, as we see him take a trade here.
Absolutely. I think the other thing that's nice about him playing the Shen right now, though, too, is he does have some safety in terms of that Spirit Refuge, so is able to throw the sword down and just deny some of the damage that Gerard wants to get in the trade. Is Puppycat continuing to win that matchup very, very hard in the mid lane, and this is, I think, exactly what we expected out of that Lux having the ability to control mages. Texas A wants to jump in here, has this large wave behind him. Gonna absorb the Facebreaker for now. Gerard gonna be forced to walk out, so that grass feeling pretty good on Texas A.
Yeah, and I'm actually a little bit ahead of you after that restart. Let me slow my game down. Just so
I will actually just speed up, so don't do that. I will just speed up.
Oh, okay. I just didn't want to be desynced. But yeah, going back to your point about mid lane, this actually is not a favorable matchup for the Lux. Traditionally, Zed has been considered a counter pick to Lux. You know, they talk about the skill. Oh, we got to fight top lane.
Double flash, manages to get it. I'm not sure what your game time is, 550, 51, 52?
We're good. We're good now.
Okay, gotcha. Puppycat, if he landed that stun, that ultimate would have surely killed Brodini in the mid lane. So this ROWVA mid lane of this Zed, unfortunately, getting forced out all the time.
Yeah, doubled up in CS now. But back to the matchup itself, you know, they talk about cast the light binding directly behind you when the Zed Deathmark comes down to try to root him up, things like that. It's a skill matchup to a degree, but also a very difficult matchup to pilot as the Lux. So it's impressive to see Puppycat with a huge CS differential there in the mid lane.
Speaking of matchup, this bot lane matchup having difficulty as well. Zodiac Lyros running away with this one, forcing the health bars lows yet again. Heal expended there for golden, so not going to have that one if a gank comes through or if this Sam Houston bot lane decides they want a more aggressive trade. Kramer, you still with us?
Sorry, sorry. I'm also having issues with my client, so
gotcha.
I think Riot has managed to break the spectator tool on the new patch.
Every patch, man, this daggum spaghetti code in this here Riot's game. You know, it can't ever get nothing clean. I'm actually just more sad about the objective timers, to be honest with you. But what do you need timers for? When Sam Houston's going to go ahead and take everything, they're going to grab that Infernal Dragon, so they'll feel happy about that one. Early Drake, I think, feels good, especially when it gives you... Phone. I think early Dragon feels good, especially when it's an Infernal like that. That way you can just have some of that early poke. And, you know, looking at this Sam Houston team, given that they do have a Lux, given that they have an Aphelios, I think that's going to start to feel better. Ultimately going to come out here for Texas A, though, in the top lane. Sorry, ultimately going to be coming down on top of him, Gerard. Forced to use that one, and it will just be a trade of health bars, honestly, in the end. So Gerard not going to have that ability to play around. Texas A can just slowly heal up. Does have the potions here. Brodini, he's made his way up here. Texas A can't get out. Deathmark going to come down. Is in the Spirit's Refuge. Deathmark not going to kill him, though. Actually, he only just tickles him. His health bar not dropping that low. Brodini going to expend the ult and waste some time. Going to lose pressure in that mid lane. Give up some gold and XP for not a whole lot.
No, a well-timed Deathmark, but ultimately not going to find the damage there onto Texas A. So it's nice to see him burn those 2 ults and still get to walk this off. Takes a smart back. This wave should be coming to him. And another point with that dragon. Oh, we might see a fighter on this Herald. Hold on.
And Drake contesting for this Vision. The Herald is up right now. Now, Ultimate's not available for Gerard or for Brandini, so Sam Houston would actually win this, I think, if they can land multiple stuns. Shen has access to the Stand United, so honestly, this is Sam Houston favored. This should just be ROWVA backing out of this one. Again, they don't have access to all their team fighting tools, and they are just going to back off for now.
Yeah, nothing going there as we see these teams continue to poke at each other, but nobody really taking all in. Oh, hold on, maybe.
Well, the grab's going to go wide there for Gerard, and he's going to add the Grass Procket in for Texas A, so that's going to feel nice. Just a little bit of extra health, a little bit extra for them.
Yeah, as we see Puppycat just continue to relentlessly bully Brodini in this mid lane, as Zodiac finds himself low on health. I'm not sure what happened here, but he is certainly at risk of getting a rocket jump explosive charged onto by this Tristana, which will be honestly good to see from ROWVA. That's the point of this bot lane, right? You take these trades until you can just all in and win the fight.
Captain Deedle, he is here. It's going to be the stun up there on top from the Lux. This is going to be first blood going over to Puppy Cat. Was patient all throughout that one. And oh, double buff's going to feel pretty good on Lux.
Oh, I weep for Brodini now that Puppy Cat's got a set of double buffs. With the blue buff up, Puppy Cat's just going to be able to relentlessly push in this lane, lock Brodini in this mid lane, not let him leave or roam to impact the map. Good to see SHSU find that first blood, though, and immediately transition it into the Herald. So they are starting to push their lead. We'll see a fight top lane.
And I think this is just indicative of what we've been seeing of Sam Houston really throughout the entirety of this summer split, or sorry, this spring split, is calm, controlled gameplay. You know, when you look at their wins, it is largely off of just slowly choking their opponents out of a game, just taking smart trades, drafting competently, and then just getting small advantages across the board that snowball into bigger. I mean, even this right now, Dragang's just trading on top of Gerard. May not be able to stay here for very long. Brodini waiting in the wings, but still fairly healthy for both the top lane and the jungle there. And yeah, they're just going to be forced to sort of just watch Sam Houston take that objective in their face and back off.
Yeah, and another thing to consider with these fights in the river is because of the range on Final Spark.
Puppy Cat gonna get the stun up right there. Draganx is here. Standing 9 is gonna come down on top, but they will be able to grab Dino, and now it's a party in the mid lane. They're just gonna drop this Herald, you have to think, and just collect some of these plates. Dragon not up yet. A couple more minutes left on that objective. Doran's shield not exactly the most effective against this Lux, as Brodini just trying to make sure he doesn't eat any damage. Ult's going to go down on top of Puppy Cat. Death Mark, Shield going to come out there. Electrocute as well. Puppy Cat going to get ignited, blows the barrier, but is going to win in that trade despite the all-in by Brodini. Puppy Cat smiling at the end of that trade.
I would have liked to see her attempt the Final Spark here and just skill check Brodini at the end, but it is nice to see her navigate around that all-in, just trading summoners. Oh, as we have a showstopper in the top lane.
We're going to come out, face breaker as well. Texas A just going to eat a couple more autos and walk away. Zodiac going to flash in. The ultimate now from Lyra's Tome. Berserk going down on Baydat. Moonlight Vigil going to come out down on top of 2. That's a 1. Can he get the other? Yes, it's going to be donated. 2 kills over to Zodiac, but not stop action. Double kill in the bot lane. Could this be a solo kill on Tabi? Yes, Texas A collects on that one. Sam Houston winning big across the board.
How many times do we have to say it with Aphelios? Red and white don't fight, green and white stay out of sight. You have to understand when this champion's at his most powerful if you're going to try to take these all-ins. And it seems like ROWVA just fails to do that. Now they're going to give up the first turret. All 5 plates in that bot lane managed to be collected. And on top of it, they did it without their Shen, without their Stand United, because he was solo killing the ROWVA top laner.
Alrighty, and we got that replay, ladies and gentlemen. Kramer, going to go ahead and walk us through what we saw in that replay as we're starting off in that mid lane fight.
Yeah, it looks like we're just seeing some trades start to go down here, and then ROWVA's just going to overcommit in the bot lane. Are they just going to show us the top lane fight?
It'll switch over to the bot lane here in just a second. It is the last 45 seconds.
Okay, we got to wait for it. All right, here we go. So we're just going to see them walk up to try to take a trade and just massively overcommit. The flash hostile takeover is excellent out of Lyros Tome. And again, this is just failing to understand the power breakpoints of Aphelios. He's got his mythic completed in this fight. Or no, he's still on a longsword in that fight? No way he hadn't backed yet.
We come out of the replay, though. Lux going to be dropping there as they lose contest there for the Dragon, and Golden going to be able to pick that one up. So 1 kill on the board there for this ROWVA team. But I think, as you were rightly pointing out there, though, I think just a lack of understanding of the trade patterns there, and just I think maybe got a little greedy there in the bot lane for ROWVA.
Yeah, also an impressive play from Lyra's Tome, understanding that it's time to punish the mistakes from ROWVA, understanding that that was not a fight ROWVA was allowed to take. As we do see SHSU start up this second Dragon, but it looks like they'll have to compete for this one.
Speaking of being allowed to take, I'm surprised Sam Houston even got there. That looked like it was supposed to be ROWVA's Drake. He's going to smite it down at the end. Second Drake going the way of Sam Houston. I thought surely after killing Puppy Cat, the tempo was going to go their way, but Sam Houston undercut them and just take it away.
Yeah, good job by Sam to be first on that rotation, take the river priority, understand that even without Puppy Cat, their bot side is still significantly stronger. I mean, just look at the item difference for Zodiac. which actually isn't updated on the mainstream.
Yeah,
Riot, you are trolling us with the spectator client.
All right, I've toggled the scoreboard, so hopefully that is refreshed, and I think it has as we're seeing the items start to come out. So we'll just have to keep hitting refresh every now and then when we think item spikes have come through. Riot just trolling us here in the production. We're doing everything we can. No, Texas A maybe caught out. No, gonna dash to safety. Just a little bit of a scare there. Just want to try and make him sweat a little bit.
Yes. Okay, I want to talk builds for a second. Actually, more specifically, runes. One of the things that I have harped on with Draganks when he has pulled out this Volibear in the past is redundancy in his item and rune choices. He's consistently opted towards this Turbo Chem Tank in addition to Predator, which I personally find very redundant. And, oh, as we see a smite away, is this a fight?
So speaking of redundant, you know what's redundant? Trying to go for your blue buff. Imagine trying to think that you could get your blue buff in your own jungle. I think Sam Houston just decided that they want to own everything right now, and they are working on doing so right now. Draken's going to steal it away and get himself out of here. Ult was blown. But 4 members strong here in this top side. I'm not sure where they're standing right now. There's going to be the full commit here onto Gerard. Facebreaker going to go out, trying to get the showstopper down as well, but Texas going to get grabbed underneath the turret. Not going to be able to get away from that one, though, so one step too far, and he donates the kill over to ROWVA.
Yeah, Texas just ends up on the wrong side of set, literally, and forced under the turret, but is SHSU going to get to trade out the mid lane turret for this? No. Okay.
No, you would have to hope not.
Yeah, I'm surprised SHSU tried to pivot into that after burning the Stormbringer to contest the blue buff. You know at that point your best dive tool is not available, and you are still walking into a set. So not necessarily the optimal character to attempt to dive. Nonetheless, SHSU still nursing about a 4,500 gold lead at 15 minutes, which is no small feat.
Absolutely, and again, to apologize for the broadcast difficulties, trying to get things to work here. Riot just not working with us, so we will continue to try and fix this as everything's just gone screwy here. So, Kramer, continue to walk us through what we're seeing here as Sam Houston getting ready to transition to this next dragon.
Yeah, we are starting to see some item breakpoints come through for SHSU, which is good. I imagine Puppycat is sitting on just an obscene amount of gold because she has still not come through or completed that mythic. She's got about 1,400 in the inventory, so certainly going to have Ludens up when that next dragon comes up. Good to see SHSU deny away this Herald too, just methodically kind of choking out ROWVA and controlling the map. A little bit of a misstep on that last dive attempt. Will they try it again, though? Draganks going to get pulled in by the Facebreaker here.
Now, the tower, I think most importantly, not one-shottable even with the Herald there, so they would have to commit to a play and actually to knock that one down. So I think ROWVA's still happy to kind of wait on this one as they are going to drop the Herald now there. So I think this is the smart play for Sam Houston. I think if you could knock down this tower, get yourself some more mobility around the map, and just open it up, I think you start to open up some of your playmaking options as well in terms of being able to play towards the jungle is, yeah, that's going to be Draganks forced to ulti out there. Had to do it to deny the follow-up CC there from Gerard.
Yeah, just showing some of the power of the Volibear pick with both the engage and disengage capabilities of that Stormbringer. And it's nice to see them get that gold, get it onto Puppycat, who is, you know, in a position of power in this game, as we see the Luden's Tempest come through, as well as a stopwatch. So not only does she now have the power to one-shot most of the roster of ROWVA here, but also a lot harder to pick off as a way to even cancel out multiple of the ROWVA ultimates as we see them start to set up around this next dragon that should be spawning in about 35 seconds, if I'm tracking this correctly.
Now, I want to ask you a question because we're talking about itemization. If you look at a certain ROWVA jungler, you will see an Eclipse in the inventory of the Vi. I'm curious to get your thoughts about that Eclipse build.
So I don't hate Eclipse here because it is going to offer you that extra % armor penetration, which is valuable into the Volibear and the Shen. I think the innate sustain combined with armor penetration of Divine Sunderer might be a little bit more valuable, but I think that's mostly going to be a negligible difference and kind of a player preference. Just go with what you're familiar with. The Eclipse, like I said, it is still % armor pen that you're getting from that mythic passive, and it actually stacks up to be quite a considerable amount as the game goes on. So Not a horrible buy there, but I think I still probably would have opted into the Divine Sunderer.
We'll look to see if that's going to matter here because Sam Houston, they've got this Dragon started off. They want to go ahead and get out to an early Dragon lead. They are looking for Drag Point. Teleport going to come out, but it's a little late now. This is going to be the full team fight coming out. Who's going to be the first to drop? Set comes down. It's going to be ulti on to multiple members there, but the Showstopper just delivers nothing in terms of power for this ROWVA squad. He's going to drop as well. 3 dead there for the side of that ROWVA squad. And Sam Houston, they get the Dragon, they get the gold, and they're feeling mighty fine after that one.
Absolutely, and the hostile takeover there from Lyrostome was fantastic. We also saw him use the handshake Q correctly in that fight to prevent what would have been an ugly smite steal after Draganx did actually miss his smite, but the hostile takeover just too powerful around these Dragon fights. I'm surprised we haven't seen ROWVA attempt to navigate these any differently, knowing that SHSU has that tool available to them. That really did just turn the fight, as we even saw Lyrostome pick up a kill there.
Yeah, and you can see in the replay
a member
there.
of ROWVA killed a teammate.
And you can see the replay there, just that Renata ult going down on top of multiple members. There's just no way out of it. Choke point as the Volley are able to start that up. But we're going to have to get right back in the game because Texas A is going to drop after that one. And now Dragan's going to have to get his way out of here. The Golden trying to see if he can get something done here. Going to gently back again. Gets the reset. Dragan going to come out of that ultimate there. And yeah, the party's all here. And it's a party of one going straight back to the fountain. Dragan's trying to see if he can trade. Not able to, though. Zed going to pick that one up in the end.
Yeah, it looks like it's bear season in the ROWVA jungle, but I am surprised Draganx allowed Golden Fox to continue jumping on him like that. I think he probably could have turned and one-shot him before some of the assistants arrived. Nonetheless, just a bit of an overstay there by the top side of SHSU that really, these are the kind of mistakes they need to be cleaning up, right? This is how you let teams stick around in games longer than they should. This,
Icebreaker, just gonna tick him a little bit. Just gonna show him what, give him the what for over the wall. You don't want him to commit him, but no, I mean, Kramer, I think you absolutely hit the nail on the head. It feels like Sam Houston, you get little moments from that, like where they're obviously so far ahead. They're not necessarily worried about, turning over the game, but just little plays like that, just giving over a little bit of goal, a little bit of pressure where you don't need to, giving your opponent, the little small things that might let them get back in the game. And I think that's something you can look to, kind of see them clean up. And I think it's something that we've talked about over the last several weeks, just seeing them become better, as that's going to be the laser straight solo kill in front of the team. Did him dirty in front of their squad, and they not done yet. Gerard forced to flash. Let's not forget Moonlight Vigil and Light Binding going to go wide. That was almost double. Puppy Cat, ice in his veins. Or sorry, in her veins. In her veins.
Puppy Cat puts the dead in dead side, blows him a little kiss with that final spark, and says to get off my screen. Oh, do we have a ADC versus tank action? I think I've seen this.
You know what,
before.
Kramer? I'm not sure I favor Golden Fox on that one. I'm going to be real with you. That just started looking mighty squishy. It's a pair of boots, and you got a bow. You're not doing a whole lot over there. I'm thinking that's probably a one-way trip.
Yeah, Gale Force not the way you're going to cut down this Shen. But again, these teams just consistently making these small positional errors when they just don't have enough people around. In early game, players didn't have enough damage yet to punish it, so we saw a lot of skirmishes where people were walking away with 20%, 30% HP consistently, right? We couldn't get a point in because these trades just kept happening in every lane. Now the items are starting to come through for SHSU. So ROWVA needs to get a little more respectful with their positioning and pathing, unless they want to see a whole lot more final sparks, a bright flash of white, sending them to a gray screen.
For sure, and I think the other thing you can start to see Sam Houston do too in the next couple of minutes is start to make the full weight of that lead felt, not only just in the itemization, but what they're able to do with it. See them, doing what they're doing right now, choking out this vision, making sure that this ROWVA squad can't really see very far into their own jungle, making sure that you control these objectives. Is the Dragon going to be coming up here in about 30 seconds, and this is going to feel good for Sam Houston. It's going to be that Ocean Drake right now. Texas A trying to tie up dead side here in this top lane, so no jungler there. Sam Houston will obviously be first to this play. They're gonna have the setup on the vision, so it is gonna be up to dead. So dead side even get out of here. He's not gonna be able to. Texas is gonna kill him. Yeah, that's just Dragon for free.
Yeah, Texas A actually blocked the vault breaker of Vi as she tried to get away there. A good bit of micro there for him to get on the other side of her. Keep her from going over that wall. He takes that solo kill. Oh, goodbye.
Oh,
Didn't
1, 2, 3
spark.
counted. You can't even count fast enough. He's just gone. This Lux is starting to become a little bit of a problem. 3-1 and 1 has 2 items, and You know, honestly, I'm surprised we didn't see more aggressive itemization from Puppy Cat, but I do enjoy the intelligence of that build, knowing that really the only way that Sam Houston can really lose some of the fights for these neutral objectives is for that Lux to not be available, and what better way to stop that than by buying some free timeout items?
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked about it a lot on Saturday, right? One of the ways you can peel for yourself is by buying time as well as space. So I like seeing multiple defensive items come out here from the carries of SHSU. I think it's a little ironic that they're building defensively while Texas A is grabbing up that Tiamat ready to go towards that Titanic Hydra so he can keep smacking around junglers that shouldn't be on his Krugs. But I do enjoy seeing the defensive items come out. If only we got one on the Renata, though.
Absolutely. And I think the other smart thing, too, when you're looking at itemization is Draganks going that Chemtech and growing the... Oh, 1, 2, I got to 2. That's how far I got, Kramer. That's how far I got.
Puppy Cat wasn't there that time. So
Puppy Cat wasn't even there. Yeah. Final Spark on top of that, and it goes even quicker. I probably won't even get to 1. And this might just be the Baron startup here for Sam Houston. They're just feeling themselves. They're not worried at all about anybody trying to come in here. They've got vision on Gerard, who may be getting himself caught if he doesn't get his way out of here in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think this is the correct time to start the Baron. One of the big talking points I like to hit with people is that you need to recognize when you're ahead that sometimes Baron can be a lose condition if you flip it. But if you go ahead and get a free kill on Captain Deadside, who is taking the dead side of the map wherever he goes this game, then you can go ahead and start up that Baron and not have to worry about flipping that because you've got a smite and the other team doesn't.
Yeah, that's the kind of quick maps I like. It's only a 50-50 the other jungler's dead. How I fix that? Well, I just kill the other jungler. Speaking of killing, Zodiac's gonna get a 4-man root off of that. That's disgusting. Final Spark gonna come down on the 1. Is gonna be the ultimate from Lyros. Zodiac's gonna go unstoppable. 5-0-3. Excuse my disrespect. 5-0-3. Onto that Aphelios right now. That was a disgusting Moonlight Vigil from the Sam Houston ADC. Oh, Botinio is gonna get another one. Sam Houston. Oh, they're just unstoppable. Zodiac's just a monster right now.
He can just hit you from so far away. A 4-man grab at him. I haven't seen an Aphelios highlight reel ult in a long time, but that was beautiful by Zodiac. That, I just can't. I've got no words. That was just perfectly executed. He saw ROWVA out of position, threw down the ult, and snared him up. Are we going to get a solo kill on the dive?
It may be. He's surviving for now. Showstopper, Facebreaker, what enough to get the pick right now. Sam Houston, they're just going to look to end this. I was going to show the replay of Sam Houston just rocking that fight, but they're not even going to let me. They're going to knock this tower down. They're going to look to kill the inhibitor, and 26 minutes into this game, they're going to make early work of this Rolla squad. They're picking up some kills, padding the stats, and they're going to knock down the inhibitor. Sam Houston, they go up 1-0 in this series.